Wife spent the night with another man. Sorry for the long post. I will try to make this as short as I can while giving as much relevant information as possible. I've never posted on Reddit before, but I've been lurking since this happened. I'm hoping hearing some words of advice or support might help. It's been about 3 weeks since Dday when I found out my WW of 20 IRs cheated on me when she had a night out drinking with some colleagues from her previous workplace. We are both in our 40s. So far, I've not found it any easier to function with the feelings I have and still feeling physically unwell with headaches, stomach discomfort, tight chest, short of breath. Backstory. We recently sold our house to move closer to the city and teenage kids' school. Our relationship hadn't been very good for a while, and we were both not treating each other very nice, and had agreed to separate for a bit, with a view to reset our marriage while my wife rented with the kids and I chose to stay with her father. One of the kids actually asked why we were separating, and was it because of cheating, and my wife told them, no. If something like that happened, we wouldn't be planning on getting back together. The plan was to buy another house within 6 months and move back in together. It was after 2 months apart, although still seeing each other almost every day, that this happened. During this time, I worked hard on myself and did all I could to make our relationship better, taking her out on dates, inviting to go for walks, tidying her house, cooking dinners, etc. That night, I kissed my wife goodbye as she left and told her to have a fun time. I stayed home with the kids. She ended up coming home around 5 a.m. hungover, and I took care of her. She told me they all went back to one of her colleagues' house and she ended up asleep on the couch. From the way she was acting after that night, my intuition told me something had happened. It took a couple of nights, but she eventually come clean because I kept asking questions. She told me if I hadn't have kept asking, she would never have told me because it meant nothing and she knew how hurt I would be. When she came clean, she told me that after she had been dropped back off at home around midnight, instead of coming inside, she called her colleague and asked if he wanted her to come around for sex, and he agreed. She walked into his house. They kissed and undressed while making their way to his bedroom, but stopped before having sex because she felt sick and knew what she was doing was wrong. He also has a girlfriend that was away for the night. She ended up laying naked with him all night and got up and left in the morning. I'm told they did nothing else. I know how ridiculous and unbelievable that sounds, and obviously my trust is gone, and I didn't accept that and thought she was just trying to minimize. But after many conversations so far, I think maybe she might be telling me the truth. Not that it makes much difference. She laid this out all at once, and the story hasn't changed. She hasn't trickled any more details. She acknowledges the fact that she had every intention of sex, and that not having sex doesn't make it any better. After I found out, she was very remorseful, guilty, knows how hurt I am, and is certain she wants to reconcile and be with me. She admitted there was no seduction involved on his part, and that it was entirely her decision to do this, and she can't give me any explanation as to why she did it. She says she doesn't expect the AP will try contacting her again and that she will tell and show me if he does. She has never tried making excuses or justifying and says nothing like this has happened before and assures me never again. We've always had access to each other's phones and are always checking locations to find the kids, etc., and nothing has raised any suspicions in the past. I'm so broken and can't make sense of my feelings. I never reacted angrily towards her and have decided to move back in now to start R because I felt so alone and was afraid I might hurt myself sitting alone every night with no one to talk to. I was clear that if there was anything else she needed to tell me about, then I needed to know now and not find out later. Once again, she told me nothing else had happened. I never thought I would be willing to stay together if this ever happened to me. But now it's real. It's not such an easy decision to make. Nobody else knows what has happened, and the only support I have is from my WW. She has organized CC, which begins in a couple of weeks. I'm thinking now, though, moving back in has made her think I'm feeling better, and I get the feeling she has already begun to move on while I'm feeling no better about myself at all. We talked about it a lot to begin with in the first couple of weeks, but now she's told me she doesn't want to keep talking about it because she hates what she did and doesn't want to keep remembering. I've agreed not to bring it up all the time until we start CC. Once again, I feel I'm working to make things better, and I'm not getting as much from her despite how badly she wants us to work things out. I'm the one that's been betrayed and thinks she should still be trying to show me how sorry she is. I'm very confused and don't know if I'm ever going to be able to get over this. I still can't go more than several minutes without thinking about what she did and replaying it all in my head. I didn't think she was capable of doing anything like this. I don't love her any less, and I want to be able to forgive and trust again. She tells me she wants to be with me because she loves me, but I'm afraid it's more to do with the kids and convenience. She has told me she understands if I feel the need to tell anyone else about what's happened, but I think that will just add to my shame and humiliation. Happy to hear any thoughts or advice to help me through how I'm feeling right now. Now, time for second story. I, 21F, have been with my fiancé, J, 20M, for over 4 years and engaged for 5 months. We were friends at school, but nothing happened until just before lockdown when he asked me out. We've always had separate friend groups and have mainly gotten along with each other's friends. However, there's one of my fiancé's friends, B, 22M, who's always been strange around me. It first started when before dating he was trying to get awfully close to me and I shot him down each and every time. When we started dating, he was always trying to break us up, making up stories or saying that since we were so close we should see each other as brother and sister, and it made him mad that we were together since he thought it was weird. More things like this happened, but it never escalated from there until lockdown. When lockdown started, I began receiving texts and calls from him trying to tell me stories about Jay, saying that he wasn't only dating me, that he told him he was secretly closeted and using me or something of that kind. I didn't believe them, but I still talked to Jay about it to have some more calm in my mind. We sorted it all out and started ignoring him. We hung out with him a couple of times, but nothing more. Fast forward to a week ago. I was with some friends out celebrating one of their birthdays when I saw B at the bar. As soon as he saw me, he took me aside from my friends and started trying to guilt trip me into hanging out with him on my own without telling Jay and trying to touch me in ways I wasn't comfortable with. When I refused, he started to get more and more agitated and I began to get scared, so I called one of my friends who helped me get rid of him and gave me a lift to my house. As soon as I arrived, I told Jay everything, and he was very hurt and angry that B could have done something like that to me and betray him, and we decided to cut him off once and for all. Now Jay has texted B that we are going no contact with him, and he has been blowing up my phone with calls and texts from different numbers and accounts. I blocked his number and all the accounts on social media he had. He's telling me that he didn't mean it in that way at all and didn't try to come at me, but that since he was a bit drunk, I could have misunderstood him. Right now, I'm doubting if I handled it wrong or if I should take any step forward to protect Jay and me because he's also been trying to get to talk to Jay. Would I be the asshole if I reported the harassment to the police and told his whole friend group they've been trying to get Jay and me to forgive him because B must have told them some lie about what he's done? I'm sorry if there's any error. English is not my first language. The next few days were tense. Jay and I were on edge, unsure of what B might try next. We decided to spend as much time together as possible, both to support each other and to ensure that neither of us would be alone and vulnerable to B's advances. Every unexpected phone call, every knock on the door sent shivers down my spine. One evening, Jay and I sat down for a serious talk. "We need to think about our safety," Jay said, holding my hands. "This has gone too far. We can't let B keep terrorizing us like this." "I agree," I replied, "but I'm scared, Jay. What if reporting him makes things worse? We'll deal with that if it happens, but we can't let him get away with this, not anymore." The following morning, we went to the police station. I was nervous, but Jay's presence gave me strength. We filed a report detailing every incident from the beginning. The officers were understanding and took our statement seriously. They assured us they would investigate and advised us to keep all evidence of B's harassment. Back at home, we felt a small sense of relief. At least now, B's actions were documented, and we hoped this would deter him from further harassment. However, we knew it wasn't the end. B's persistence and manipulation made him unpredictable. Over the next few days, we received support from unexpected places. Some of Jay's friends who initially sided with B began to see through his lies. They reached out to us, offering apologies and support. This was a huge relief, as it meant we had more people on our side. However, B wasn't done. He continued to try and reach out using new numbers and fake accounts. We reported each incident to the police and kept a detailed log of everything. Our determination to stand up to him grew stronger with each passing day. One evening, Jay received a call from an unknown number. Expecting it to be B, he hesitated but answered anyway. To our surprise, it was B's older brother. M sounded serious and concerned. He had heard about the situation and wanted to meet us in person to discuss it. We agreed to meet M in a public place, a cafe we frequented. When we arrived, M was already there, looking anxious. He greeted us and apologized for his brother's behavior. "I had no idea B was causing you both so much trouble," M said, looking genuinely distressed. "He's always been a bit unstable, but this is beyond anything I imagined." "We appreciate you reaching out," Jay replied cautiously. "But what can we do? He won't stop." "I've spoken to our parents," M explained. "We're going to get him the help he needs. Therapy, counseling, whatever it takes. But in the meantime, I'll make sure he stays away from you both. If he tries to contact you again, let me know immediately." We were cautiously optimistic. M seemed sincere, and if B's family was involved, maybe there was a chance things would finally calm down. The following week, the harassment did indeed slow down. We received fewer calls and messages, and when we did, M was quick to intervene. It felt like we were finally regaining control of our lives. Despite the reprieve, we remained vigilant. We knew that B might try again, but we were prepared. The support from Jay's friends, the involvement of B's family, and the police's attention to the case gave us the strength to keep going. Months passed, and life started to return to normal. Jay and I focused on our upcoming wedding, planning every detail with joy and anticipation. B's presence faded from our daily lives, and we allowed ourselves to hope for a brighter future. On our wedding day, surrounded by friends and family, we felt a deep sense of gratitude. The journey had been tumultuous, but it had brought us closer together. As we exchanged vows, I looked into Jay's eyes and saw not just love, but resilience and unwavering support. The ordeal with B had tested us in ways we never imagined, but it had also shown us the strength of our bond. Together, we had faced a formidable challenge and emerged stronger. As we celebrated our union, we knew that whatever the future held, we would face it side by side with love and courage.